let me tell you a story so dark that it may actually. I wrote this myself, so I hope you like it. It's the first story that I will tell, just to pull a little bit of attention to myself a little bit. The story is called Mary's Music. Mary lived with her mother and father. Every day was a good day, or at least so she thought. Or did we think that? She always carried a smile, and her white dresses always made her seem like the purest girl of all. But she knew the facade was there, that she lied to everyone. Why would she think that? A beautiful blonde girl, the perfect blue eyes with green mixed in. His smile carried over the streets as everyone who saw her would carry a smile all day long. But why was this? The girl smiled only at day, but she stood outside of her home every day after school. She was a good girl, no one bullied her, but her parents were worried about her. For every day she stood for tens of minutes outside of the gate, staring at the house, looking from room to room. Her eyes seemed so dark in that moment, as if life had abandoned her very soul, as if she had nothing to live for. She then, almost nearing an hour of time every day, started to move, her hands unlocking the gate she would enter. She grew up in this home, and she used to smile. But after this started happening, the first few times her parents opened the gate for her, she stood there. Sometimes they tried to drag her inside. She'd hold her ground, not moving until she wanted, as if she was truly reluctant to enter. The young girl would always afterwards, when in the home, put on a smile, keep her parents happy. But her parents saw her eyes. They were filled with terror. But when it turned night, she never left her room, even for dinner or tea. Even while she loved it, she would never open the door, and her parents were forbidden to enter. She made this very clear, because her father had one time entered and renewed a light bulb, which seemed to flicker, but in reality, the light bulb was fine. It was the energy that it was lacking, as if the electricity kept being siphoned away, but in reality, there was something darker in the home, realized. Mary sat every night on the same carpet floor, rocking back and forth, talking to herself. Or was there someone with her? The lock on her room had a cover on it, and her parents respected her, so they did not look. Sometimes, in the middle of the night, they heard the girl's music box playing. They wondered why the happy tune sounded so scary, as if the joy had been taken away from it. Tunes turned darker and deeper every night, and sometimes they could see shadows dancing at their door. But what truly terrified them was that today, that little girl's voice sounded like distorted at night when she knocked on the door.
Mother,
Mother,
father,
father,
let
let
me in,
me in,
Daddy.
Daddy. Let
Let
me
me in.
in.
Let
Let
me
me
in,
in,
Daddy.
Daddy.
Let
Let
me
me
in.
in.
At the time she started to scream, she was scratching the door, and she sounded like she was crying and laughing. Then they heard someone else. Every word she spoke repeated in the background by a deep man's voice, something demonic. They feared for their life, but the father said, "She is a little girl. We need to help her." Just when he was about to open the door, he looked at the ground when he was nearly standing right in front of it. He saw something pulling to his feet. It felt sticky, thick. It looked dark, crimson color. That moment, he knew what it was. It was blood. "Mary! Mary, are you okay?" He was scared for his daughter's life and started fumbling with the lock and his key. His wife looked at him and was scared. She sat up and got out of bed and asked,
Darling, what is wrong?
She looked at him, saw the pool of blood. Her eyes widened. "She is cutting herself, Annabel." They kept hearing the sound of stabbing and cutting of flesh. The man opened the door slowly. His daughter was nowhere to be seen, and they heard her door close and lock. They tried to run out, but the man stood on something cold, flesh-like, and fur. He looked down and saw their dog, a female German Shepherd who would have tried to protect them. Someone different would enter the home. But why did she not bark before he... Then the parents saw it. The dog was cut into pieces and had its bowels cut out of it, and its head was missing. They rushed to the door of their daughter, and the father tried to kick in the door. The mother said,
Gerald, what are you doing?
Then they heard their daughter crying and the demon laughing. The father kicked in the door, but they were shocked to see something different than they realized. In the dark room there was a fog and a cool air. When they looked around, they stood baffled at the door that was supposed to connect to a bathroom. There was an opening to a forest. When they entered, they looked around. They heard laughing, creepy voices, and the voices were singing a song.
Little girls, so nice and tall, so nice and tall, clean and pure, clean and pure. We will take your family away, with your body swaying in the Galloway.
Then they came upon a sight so horrific they collapsed, cried. There was that baby girl, sprung up with her arms wide and legs crossed into a sickening display. Her legs were twisted into a drill-like motion, burned together. Her chest was bare and the skin was removed. Her eyes were gouged out and her fingers removed. She hung there from a gallows, but then they looked at her head, which was covered by something, and they realized it. It was the head of the female dog, the shepherd. She was turned into a bitch. As they tried to take it down, they realized someone was out in the dark woods. When they took down her body, the father realized the head had been sewn onto hers, and she had no heartbeats. They ran home with their baby girl. After they closed the bathroom door, they opened it and it was the normal bathroom. They decided to bury her in the middle of the night, in the dark, in their backyard. That morning they fell asleep. But the following night they woke up to a strange sound, scratching at the back of the house. When they looked outside the door, they saw their daughter standing there, scratching the door, barking, and panting like a dog, their head moving its tongue as if it was hers, as if it was her talking and barking. Then they heard a sound faintly coming from her room, a squeaking door, and music box. The one that sounded so creepy before had been playing a normal tune again. When they went to her room, they saw that little girl sitting there normally. A smiling girl. They checked the bathroom door and nothing was there. When they went to the back door, shack, they saw the thing standing there in the now open door, and they kicked the mother down. The little demon girl hugged her father and licked his neck before saying,
Tomorrow it all starts over. Again. Again.
and with a final deep demonic voice it said, "And again." That is when the father passed out. They woke up, found the music box playing the same dark tune again and again, never stopping. Two parents hugged each other, crying. When they looked at their foot and they found a note written in their daughter's hand, the father read it aloud. "Mother, Father, I am sorry I tried to keep you safe, but they made me kill myself. The voices. I relive this with you at the same time. Please, find a way to escape." This was back in the year 1805, and their house can still be found. It looks abandoned, but people say they can still see the parents living their stressful life, every day starting over, seeing their daughter turn into a demon, and it all starts over when the music box sounds it. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.